Hi, it's Guy DiMartino. I'm a Northwest Indiana estate planning and probate lawyer. If you ever have any questions about an Indiana estate plan, you can always set an appointment with me either by phone, come in person, or we can do something by video conference. You can just go to indianaestatemeeting.com and you can click the time that works for you and works for me, and we can try to answer your questions and potentially develop a plan for you. Well, a lot of times I come out with these videos and it's because of situations that I've been confronted with. And I was recently confronted with a situation where, the question was, do I even need a will? And most people would think, yeah, I do need a will. But there's some situations where you might not need a will. You might not need to go through the cost, the expense, for a will because there's really nothing that is a probateable asset. And what that means is an asset that would have to go through a will or go through the probate process. And this is a scenario that you might think about not even having a will if you don't have a will now. And so I met with an elder gentleman, and this guy was receiving a pension, and this guy was receiving Social Security. And so the questions that I ask and I want to know, do you own a vehicle? The answer was no, I don't own a vehicle. I don't drive anymore. Do you own a home? No, I got rid of my home a number of years ago. I live in an apartment. Do you have a bank account? Yes, I have multiple bank accounts. Well, do you have beneficiary designations on the bank account? Yes, I do have beneficiary designations on the bank account. Do you receive a pension? Yes, I receive a pension. Does the pension terminate at your death? Does the pension stop at your death? Yes, the pension stops at my death. Do you have any retirement accounts? Yes, I have a retirement account with Merrill Lynch. Do you have a beneficiary designation on the retirement account? Yes, I have a beneficiary designation on the retirement account. Do you have any other property? No, I don't have any other property. Well, in this situation, this person really doesn't need a will if the person doesn't want to go through the expense of getting a will prepared because they don't have really any property that needs to be distributed at death that is not covered by a contractual or beneficiary distribution schedule. See, the bank account will be payable at death. The retirement of funds, if there are any left, will be paid at death. The pension stops at death. So why go through the rigmarole of having to put people into a will? And I explained to the person, well, you really don't have to, but the only concern that I would have would be that maybe there's something out there that you're not thinking about today that might need to go through the probate process. And this person said, well, I have two children, and if I did something in a will, I would want my stuff to go equally to my children. And I said, well, if something's going to have to go through probate anyway, and you have two children and no surviving spouse, then it would go by the laws of intestacy in the state of Indiana, so your kids are going to get half each anyway. So I see your point. So I agreed with this fact scenario that this person probably did not need a will. So that's sort of the analysis that you might want to go through when you're thinking about what type of estate planning documents you need. That doesn't mean that you don't need a power of attorney to handle issues or healthcare proxy or healthcare directive, all these things that you might need, or a living will to handle these issues before you pass. But you really have to look about whether a will really is going to play or is really needed for your current situation. If you have any questions about an Indiana estate planning matter, you can always give me a call. I am Guy DiMartino. Have yourself a great day.